Okay, let's get started.
Did you turn on transcription?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Can you see it?
I'm sure it'll, yes. Okay, yeah, it's there now.
Okay. So yes, this meeting is being recorded and the live transcription is on. So welcome to our Zoom engagement tips and tricks.
You got to tell me to go to the next slide. Come on.
Yes, go to the next slide. David and I are tag teaming this, so this will be interesting. So I'm Miriam Basinger from Blue Ridge Community College.
And I'm David Todd from the System Office, and we both are members of a sort of the E-Learning and Educational Technology Committee.
Next slide. So how many times have you attended a lecture on student engagement? In this demonstration, in this session, we're going to demonstrate the strategies we are introducing during the workshop. So we are hoping that we are going to engage you as we hope you engage your students. So this workshop, really might be different than previous workshops you've attended, because we're going to take you through a series of activities and model this student engagement. So that's what our agenda, highlights the objectives of what we're doing, the engagement activities we'll be focusing on. So learning is social, right? We know that. And participation really does involve comfort and trust. And we teach because of our students. We want them not only to be pass our class, but we really want them to spark the love of learning, just that lifelong learning. And everybody who teaches really wants them to have the love of learning of their subject area, right? But everything starts with trust, safety, and relationship. You will be actively learning by interacting with the Zoom tools. So we're not going to tell you how to do it. We're going to have you interact with them. And by the end of the workshop, we hope that you have a better understanding of how using the Zoom tools creatively will enhance student engagement. Next slide. Okay, unless you've been living on a remote island, you've seen this Bernie Sanders memes, right? That have just taken social media and the internet by storm. So give me a reaction if you've enjoyed, laughed, or created a Bernie meme. So the reaction is at the bottom right. It's a little smiley face that has a plus. Great, I'm seeing them pop up. Perfect. So throughout this session, Bernie will be showing up different places. And every time you see Bernie, I would like to see a reaction, okay? Now in the chat, we want you to give a brief description of your favorite Bernie meme and or one that you've created. So if you could go into the chat real briefly and give us a brief description of Bernie. I see this is great. I'm seeing some great things pop up in the chat.
Oh yeah, the ghost one was pretty funny.
Okay, and it's you, David.
Oh, it is me, but I got to do something first because now I'm like, okay, now I want to, because I, like everyone else, probably did one. All right, so Miriam, you're going to start setting up our breakout rooms. While she's doing that, I'm going to, here we go, share something. There you go. And I'm not seeing any, well, anyway. So fundamentally, we're making the assertion that you've got to build, you've got to have a relationship with your students. You've got to build those relationships, and that there are ways to do that in Zoom. And from that, you can get that engagement that you're looking for. I'm not seeing any reactions yet for the people who didn't see Bernie, because Bernie is on this slide. There you go. Well, Aaron's fine. There he is, down at the bottom. Okay. So what we're going to do in a second, and Miriam's setting this up right now, is we're going to assign you to a breakout room. Okay. And what we want you to do in that breakout room is, well, individually go to this URL, which will take you to this page, right? And your breakout room will be one of these. And then click on the appropriate one. So, if you're in the posh breakout room, open that document, which I have here. And as a group, talk through, write up, generate some stuff on creating a safe environment and building relationships with students. So those are the two questions we want you to start with and follow. So the thing you're going to do first, thank you, Melissa, for putting that in the chat, is follow that link, go to the appropriate breakout rooms, the room you've been put into, and then as a group, start working on talking through some of these two questions: creating a safe environment and building relationships. Are you good to go, Miriam?
Almost. I'm going as fast as I can.
Well, if I can help, let me know. Fortunately, in Zoom, once you've done this once, so we set up the rooms in advance, but we couldn't assign people in advance. But once you've done this once, then we can just, next time we'll just click one button to reopen the rooms. So that should just work fine. So like I say, here's what you're going to do. You're going to end up at this page. You're going to go to the relevant one, and then you're going to answer these two prompts as a group. And you can chat and share and do whatever you feel like you need to do. We about there?
Yep, we are.
So my group was just about to get into a really interesting topic that we're going to return to about if you're multitasking, but what if students are using a phone, or if they only have a laptop, and those kinds of constraints, and how do you deal with those, right? So that's something we hope to get to. But the next thing actually is more about is a poll that we have for you.
David, you need to share the slides again.
Thank you. Thanks, Miriam. All right, I'm going to launch a poll. And this is sort of about anxiety, and I think anxiety sort of takes, I think you guys know, it can take many forms. It can be just not, we all know people who hate having pictures taken of themselves or what have you, right? Or people who are not confident with technology. And so I think you should expect that there will be some of your students who are not comfortable with Zoom as a technology and as an experience. And that's, I think, something to think about beyond just the technical challenges that students may have. So I'm going to end that poll and share the results. And note that so far we've done some pretty low stakes stuff, right? We've done reactions, which is a great way just to get people comfortable with responding and being part of the picture. And we've done a poll. Stop sharing the results on that. And we've done chat, right? You guys are chatting, and welcome to chat. The next one is another poll about fatigue. So let's see what you guys have to say about that one. I don't know about you, but I've certainly had more than my fair share of being completely exhausted after being in Zoom meetings all day. Oh yeah, I mean, everyone, we're really hitting it on this one that I'm seeing as the results are coming in. And I think, again, and I hope if you're still responding, there are people still responding, but I'm going to end the poll just so that we can keep moving and share the results. If we're doing these things, then I think we should consider that students might be doing these things, or they may be experiencing that fatigue, but also that if they're doing other things, there may be a reason why, right? And it behooves us to think about that. And Oh, by the way, how many people caught Bernie in the previous slide? He's there if you look hard enough. Sherry's shaking her head. Oh, she found him. There he is. He's on the laptop screen. All right. I think I'm utterly fascinating, but I know deep down I'm not as interesting as I think I am. And I just saw Misty yawn. So there you go. There's proof, and the proof is there. I also know that when I actually this morning I was doing security training, and I had to like click and wait and click and wait and click and wait, and it was painful. When if I'm doing like watching online video that's sort of educational, I'm doing it at 1.5 speed, and I'm racing through. And if it's more than 10 minutes, I'm thinking really hard about whether I really want to watch it, especially if it's just a talking head. And so we sort of, these are things that I think we need to think about too. Got another poll. We've got 3 polls in a row. But when we record a 1-hour class, or we record ourselves lecturing for 30 minutes, I think we need to think hard about whether this is an effective use of our time with our students, or how to get that to our students in an appropriate way. Yeah, getting lots and lots of votes on this one. I'll give that a couple of seconds. And actually, Miriam, do you want to talk about the next slide while I'm still running the poll?
Sure. So we're all familiar with the Bloom's taxonomy, and we know that the higher level of learning takes place at the top of the pyramid in this diagram. So that's where the deeper learning takes place. And in the bottom is the lower level of learning. So where are lectures? Where do they fit in? The bottom, right? And so we have to think about, why are we spending time with students in our synchronous courses doing lecturing and expecting them then to do the deeper learning on their own. So next slide, David. Here is what one of my instructors does. Before class, she has her students watch a series of mini lectures, short little lectures. So it's the whole lectures chopped up into chunks. And then also she has them do a reading reaction. That's what that RR is. And then when they come into class, they are ready to work as a group on an activity for deeper learning. So I really love to see that an instructor is using this method. Okay. So we need to also talk about constraints that students face. Some of the challenges that our students face is, let me go to the next slide. Yeah, okay, thank you. So some students have technology challenges. Equity. So equity is a big problem now with technology equity. Some students do not have internet services at home, or it's very minimal. Some have to go someplace for services. I know of several students who have to share devices amongst the family because the family can afford one laptop and students have to share them. So we have to take into consideration these type of things. Also, another thing to consider is, cultural aspects. Maybe making eye contact is considered rude. Also is the socioeconomic possibilities that somebody may not want to have their video camera on because of their surroundings, depending on where they are. So we need to take those things into consideration. So we're going to put you in a breakout room again, and would like you to look at how can students participate with one of these options, without video, without audio, without chat. So come up with, discuss amongst a group And when is it okay for students to turn their cameras off? So we're going to put you back in the rooms. Somewhere you guys should have join a room. Teresa, which room were you in first time? Okay.
Miriam, I'm sorry, I was late to the meeting, so I wasn't in the first room.
Okay, I will assign you then, okay? Teresa, okay.
Ooh.
I'm gonna unmute myself. Is Miriam back with us? That's Miriam. There she is. Oh, there
Todd,
she-
I have a question.
Yes.
When you go in the breakout room, do you pause the recording and then start it up again? Or is there a way you can automatically do that?
It automatically restarts, and I think it automatically pauses as well.
Okay,
All right.
Next
Um,
slide, David.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, so interruptions happen. Now that we've been on Zoom since March, I know all of us at some point have had some kind of interruption. So they can be embarrassing, they can be funny, and but we've all had it. Just the other day, I was helping an instructor. And so while I'm telling the story, go ahead and take the poll. I was helping an instructor and I had my office door closed. And my granddaughter, who's too young to know that when Oma's door is shut, that she doesn't come in, but she came in and hopped on my lap. And so we just went on with the session that I was helping the instructor. So, you know, this is the reality of Zoom. So it's fun watching you have it go through this. Okay.
I'm kind of
so-
glad that no one is answering positively on the last one.
Yeah.
I should end the polling and share the results. There we go.
Okay, cell phone seems to be the number one in pets. So
Pets are great. I think you're
Yes.
obliged to share pets if you have them.
I don't know. I yelled at my cat when she did stuff. I forgot I was not muted and I was embarrassed.
Yes.
I yelled at my husband and didn't realize I wasn't muted. They didn't let me live that down for a while.
I think I would prefer the cat experience to that one.
All right, Miriam.
so should learning be fun? I mean, you know, should it be a fun experience?
it
Next
should
slide.
be entertaining.
Yeah. So, you know, learning does not have to be dull and boring, but not everybody's flamboyant, right? So think about ways that you can add creativity and spark of interest in your subject area. So in the group I was in, there's somebody who teaches statistics. So what are some ways that you can add some spark and interest in your activities with your students? One example that I have a English instructor who teaches world literature. And so depending what area, region of the world that the literature is coming from, she'll put the background, her virtual background to that. When they were going through Greek mythology, she had Greece, a background of Greece. As her virtual background. And so that was just one method of engaging students. So now we get to play. So I would like you, by the camera, there's this little triangle, and you're going to find a virtual background. So you can click choose virtual background on that little arrow. And you can see that like you can add a virtual background, because the one I have obviously isn't one that is Zoom selection, pre-selected items. So if you see a little plus on the right side, like up by your scroll bar, there's a plus. That is where you can add your personal picture. So go ahead and add a background. Now, beside that is virtual filters. And this is a fun one. So Sherry, you're making me hungry. I see donuts just in her background. So
Krispy
Virtual,
Kreme sent that to me.
Sherry loves donuts, so this is fun. So in the virtual video filters, this is just a fun one where you can just play around. So this is your playtime, just experiment with these. So this can just be like a student icebreaker or whatever you could use it for. But you know, these are just kind of fun, nonsensical type of things. Now, if you have an early morning meeting and you're not prepared, camera ready, but it is important to have your camera on, at the bottom right, you see studio effects. If you click on that, I'm going to give myself some wicked eyebrows. So I can give myself eyebrows. Do you see that? So I can, and the older you get, your eyebrows disappear. So you can give yourself eyebrows. You can give yourself a beard. There's what I look like with a beard. And then you can give yourself lipstick as well. And there's times when I've looked better with Zoom makeup on than I did with my own. So, and it was funny because during, I forget what it was, there was something that I was watching. I'm like, oh, they have Zoom makeup on, because I spotted it because I've used it myself. So there was one morning when I had an 8 o'clock meeting and I used a Zoom makeup and it worked fine.
So, and to answer Tracy's question about experimenting when you aren't on Zoom meeting, yeah, you can start your own, if you just do a new meeting with your, you know, like with no one else in attendance, you can do that. But also actually the Zoom app, if you go to the Zoom app settings, you can do it that way. But one way is just to start a meeting with yourself and go to the same location. The other thing that I think a lot of us do is erase the experience of age in the general video settings, where you can touch up your appearance and it takes away your wrinkles, which is always a good thing.
And boy, I use that one because it really helps smooth out your skin. It takes away, you know, like the age spots and things
I'm
like that.
sorry,
So,
where is that one?
okay, so video.
Oh, Sherry, you saying you don't use it all the time? Sorry. All right. Oh, this is me. Miriam, is this okay for me to pick this up now?
Yes.
All
How do you
right. So
turn them off?
how do you turn them off? The effects?
You
just-
go to
there's a-
same place
Mhm.
and you go none.
Ah,
So one of the things that we did a little differently with this session is we started a little early and let people in early. It wasn't like on the dot of 11 o'clock that we let people in and launched into what we were doing. We let people in as they sort of arrived, because we wanted to sort of create that pre-class chit chat feel. And we feel like this is a good approach to use. You know, you can play music, you can play, you know, whatever music you like during times when people are working on stuff, or if you're just waiting. And you can, I think a number of people have mentioned this, certainly in the groups I've been in, is you can have chat questions, like, you know, just kind of those traditional icebreaker kinds of questions. Someone in my group had a great idea of actually emailing those questions in advance so that students didn't feel put on the spot during the thing. So there's a question in the chat about playing music to the group, and when you go to share, there's an option to include video and audio from your own computer, so you can, you know, run Spotify and share that. But yeah, so why don't you answer these two questions in the chat? Is there something on your bucket list that you would like to do when the pandemic's over, I'm guessing? Or is there a lyric from a favorite song that has meaning to you? And feel free to put that in the chat. And the other thing I'd say is that TikTok is it's where all the kids are these days. But there's lots of inspiration there, visual inspiration and audio inspiration that you can find just going around on TikTok and messing around. But yeah, swim with dolphins. Oh yeah, I like that one. I could go for that. That would be a good one. Anyone's got bucket list stuff in the chat? Mount Rushmore, that's another one. I haven't done the Grand Canyon either. I have skydived. This is wonderful. Thank you for sharing these. Very cool. My daughter was in New Zealand last year and I was going to visit her, and then the pandemic hit. All right, let's see. What's the next slide? Oh, okay. Is this me or you, Miriam?
I believe it's you.
Okay.
What,
So we're gonna send you back to your breakout rooms in a second, and kind of to talk a little bit about this question of combining both fun and focus, right? Because you want students to be focused, but you want there to be fun. And see if you can create a meme that answers this question. I'm going to demonstrate this just quickly, just so you see what I'm doing. Let me just put the link in the chat first. And when you follow that link, you're going to end up somewhere like this, but you'll get a different image every time, right? And you can add text. There you go. And then create a meme, whatever you like. And then the other thing is that if you see, this is a very common one, right? This, I'm going to leave that. If you click on a meme on this site and then choose caption, you can create your own meme, and you can also search. So if I search for Zoom, it'll give me a whole bunch of, there you go, online. There's an even an online classes one, and you can add your own, and then you can generate and create a link. So that's what we're going to send you to breakout rooms to do. And we'll look at the time. I think we'll probably have time to have a speaker to just talk about some of the things you've talked about and to talk about the meme that you've come up with. Miriam, you good to send people out?
yep. Oops. David, I think you need to share.
He did.
Yeah, but it's the wrong thing. You're muted, David.
Thank you.
Okay.
Not a meeting should go by without someone telling me that I'm muted. All right. So yeah, we had some issues in terms of just working out the technical process of generating a meme, but we had an interesting discussion. Let's see, where are we? We're at 11:49. I don't know what happened in the other groups, whether they actually managed to come up with something. Possibly not is the answer, but that's fine. I'm sure, I hope you had good
conversations, but we didn't end up spending time filling it in on the Google Forms. So
Oh,
one,
I
one
like
of the
this
things-
one. Scary group. That's a good one.
So one of the things that I want to say is that we talked about two things. One with the meme is asking students to create a meme that's related to some of the content, right? And it could be a funny meme, but connected directly into the content. The other one that we talked about is we're a little bit concerned with some backgrounds and some filters being a little bit distracting, but setting time aside and saying to them, oh, you know, when we meet next week, we're having a best background contest. So there's nothing off limits. All backgrounds, you know, are fine. And doing some things like that. So creating time that's equivalent to the 5 minutes before or after class, where people can let their guard down. And also using all these kinds of things and asking students to connect it into the content. And they could make it funny. That's not the problem in the meme, but to connect it to the content.
Right, because taking ideas and things that you've learned and reframing them is a valuable skill and a way in which we learn. And then reframing them as an image and means transforming what you've learned and done, right? And if you're sort of being creative at the same time, that's sort of helping encode that. So I don't know if I'm not sure how we're gonna manage this. Let's see, let me see if I can do this. We'll do a quick poll for a vote. And as far as I can tell, Sporty's not in the running. Scary came up with this one, which I like that one a lot. Posh came up with this one, which I also think is fantastic. And Ginger came up with this one, which is great. It's like there's no excuse. It's like what happened to snow days, right? And I came up with this one, and someone in our class, I'm completely blanking on your name, Bethany, came up with a great one, but we haven't quite worked out how to share it properly, which is a shame because it was really good. So, oh, and some people are just, yeah, all right. How are we doing on the polling? There you go. This is Posh.
I put my link in chat, so you may be able to
Oh.
see if it's there.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There you go. I like that one. This is the Baby Spice group.
Yeah, that one is truly awesome.
Especially
Awesome.
for nursing class.
Yeah. And this is one of those challenges, nursing in particular, right? Where you have this challenge of so much stuff you've got to cover. Oh, any reactions on seeing Bernie in this one? I like this one a lot. I like this one a lot. All right. Miriam.
Okay, so that's a wrap. We have come to the end of our session, and we covered a lot of things through engagement. So we use chat, we use reactions, we use Google Docs, we use chat, we created an image. So you took the information that you learned and you created a meme with it. So just remember that learning can be fun and it should be engaging. And that is really how to get our students engaged in our subjects. So just enjoy, relax, and your students will relax and enjoy too. So next slide. We thank you, and the recordings, this recording and all other recordings will be at edtech.vccs.edu webinar. And it is really important to us that you fill out the evaluation. So we know what went well, what didn't go well. And so we really appreciate your feedback. Next slide.
Thanks. And yeah, we do, when we share, we'll share this presentation with links to the different things that we've used and what have you as well. So
Yep.
thank you very much.
David and Miriam, can
Mhm.
I ask you to add to that list of the how-to to just show the screenshot of live transcription and that they click enable?
Absolutely.
Because that's the big thing. If they don't remember to click enable, then it won't work. So if you could add that, thank you.
Be happy to.
Yep.
So thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Wait, we have a few minutes and we're modeling good behavior. If anybody has something that they want to add.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
more than welcome
unmute
to add it.
yourselves.
But
Yeah,
modeling,
unmute yourselves and
modeling good behavior is ending not on the hour, but giving people 5 minutes or 10 minutes to
I
get
was
to the
gonna
next
say.
thing.
Modeling good behavior is telling students they have time to go to the restroom. Is
Could
what
you go
it
back
is.
one slide again so we can copy down that link?
Absolutely. Yeah, really, we should have ended 10 minutes now. The number of meetings I have that like go up till 59, I'm like, "Argh."
I had
No,
meetings
that's-
to go
that's
until 8 after.
That's the point. When we say 10 minutes early, we should turn record off and anybody who wants to leave can. And anybody who wants to
That-
stay